Terminology. Interpretation. Okay, so I wonder, would it be easier if we started the propositional case? So today's class is like everything else you need to know about logic. So we've done basic propositional logic, we've done basic first-order logic, but there's other stuff that you need to know about. So we're going to be skipping around today between first-order logic and propositional logic. So I'm totally fine if people want to start off with talking about semantics in the propositional case. That's fine with me. I don't like this previewer. Yeah, so in the propositional case, a model is an interpretation in which P is true, some propositional formula. And an interpretation in propositional logic is one of these possible world things. What is an interpretation in propositional logic? Each proposition, exactly. Yeah, it's assignment of true or false to all the propositions. And yeah, there are exponential number of ways of assigning the true and false. If you have n propositions, there are 2 to the n possible interpretations. And a model is the one where it's true. Fantastic. And something is a formula, a propositional knowledge base, which you can look at as just a big and of a whole lot of things, is satisfiable if there exists a model for it. It could be true. So if someone says, I live in the world where P and I live in the world where not P, like you can't have both those true at the same time, so that knowledge base is not satisfiable. That person is going to be very disappointed. And then in propositional logic, entailment is very straightforward. If Q is true in every model of P, then P entails Q. And something is valid if it's true in any interpretation. So like P or not P. That's going to be true in every interpretation, because every interpretation is going to give a truth value to P, and whichever way it comes out, that clause is going to be valid. So everyone get the propositional case. It's pretty straightforward. The first order case, things get hairier, because an interpretation is a hairier object. It's not just an assignment of true and false to propositions, because we're not doing that anymore. We've got fanciness. We've got constants, and they map to objects in the world, and we have functions, and we have predicates. So an interpretation is where we choose particular things to have the constants point to, and we choose a particular function to assign to each function symbol, and we choose a particular relation to assign to each predicate symbol. So there are like a zillion interpretations in first-order logic for even a little tiny KB. But now everything else is pretty much the same. So a model is an interpretation in which the knowledge base is true, or the theory. People also call those things theories. And then something satisfiable if there exists a model for it. And entailment is just exactly the same. If Q is true in every model of P, P entails Q. And something's valid if it's true in every interpretation. So you almost never have valid things in logic. Like those things are very boring because they don't really help you get around in the world at all. I mean, if I were a robot, I'd be most interested in those things that cut down on the number of models for the KB, because then that more tightly defines the world in which I am.